Hi there, my name is Megan, and today I'd like to do a little bowspring practice with you guys and just talk a little bit about the method. And a lot of people will ask me, well, is it yoga? Is it a fitness method? How would you really describe the practice? And to me, it's just an evolution of yoga, which is what I used to teach before this. So it's taught in a very similar setting, in a traditional kind of, you start with the centering of class, moving through asana. We have breath work, there's some time for meditation and so forth. So it very much is just like a regular yoga class in that way, just with different languaging and alignment. So the other thing to think about is that it is ergonomic as far as it's a practice that we would really bring into our everyday lives, looking at how we're doing the day-to-day activities like sitting, standing, and walking, how we would set up our desk at work or how we would be in our vehicle for driving and even posturing, in that way to see the repetitive, recursive things that we do in our day-to-day lives and how to bring a better alignment for those activities. The other is that it is therapeutic. So, a lot of the work I do is with people that are, preventing a type of maybe joint replacement, or they're recovering from one, because it requires us to create a uniform tone, which is really sustainable and healthy for the joints. So the holistic application of all the muscles really working together, specifically targeting the posterior, which is generally quite a bit weaker for folks. So uniform tone, therapeutic alignment, and then the other is that it's athletic, and in that way that we would apply it in really any activity. This is an alignment that would translate into biking or hiking or surfing or running or horseback riding, or you fill in the blank. So there's so many benefits, from just, like I said, the practicality of the day-to-day to more of the an athlete, a professional athlete that was looking to enhance performance and decrease potential joint degeneration. So today's practice, what I want to show you is really starting with the heart. And so the alignment in the bowspring is very curvy, and it really is based on a wave theory. So meaning that if you look at the form from the tip of the toe to the crown of the head, there is an alignment that is curvy. You're looking at a hollow and a mound, a peak and a valley. And the torso specifically, if we look at its alignment, the head, we have the head, the heart, and the hips being the spherical, full, kind of rounded portions of the torso. And then we would have what we'd say like a tapering, a narrowing, kind of spooling energy of the belly and the neck. So essentially you're creating a curvy kind of hourglass figure that is very much a double S curvature of the spine. And so something to consider with that is that, I hear from folks sometimes like, whoa, gosh, they're bending so deeply into their lordotic. Folks who see the bowspring practice, like, oh, is that safe? And well, it is if the thoracic is full. If we lose the thoracic fullness and we're doing deep, lumbar back bends, lordotic back bends, yeah, it can be a bit, diminishing and impinging there at T12. So it's really important for us in this methodology to understand the importance of the kyphotic expression of the thoracic portion of the spine. So meaning, kyphotic being more of the rounded, and then lordotic is more of the curve. So the inward curve where you have the outward of the kyphosis. So primary curve, thoracic, gotta have it. So, you're just thinking ribs full and broad, and that's what this practice today is going to be a little demo on for you. So I'm going to show you how to really get in there and keep fullness of what we'd say radiant heart, and so the circumferential expansion of the ribs. So to begin, I'm going to have you come onto your back. So we'll come down onto the floor. So you can come to an all fours position. And then once you come to all fours, you can swivel onto a hip, and then just slowly bring yourself down onto your side, and then come onto your back. So once you're on your back, bend your knees and place your feet to the floor. Okay, so right away, what we can start to feel, inhale your arms towards the sky, and then let your fingers curl in. And you think that like you're activating the muscles of the arms, which is what you're doing with the seed hands. This particular alignment is intended to create a muscular tone of the arms. So the fingers curl in softly, but we hollow the center of the palm, and then there's a little squeeze at the base of the palm, and this will help to encourage muscular activation. Okay, so the ribs, what we want to work on is that to start, the side ribs are what we're accessing. So feeling the arc from side to side as you stretch, you can do one side and then the other. And you're actually just broadening the back of the heart here and the front of the heart. But first, we want to work from the side, so you push out and even feel your breath as it starts to push out into the side ribs. And then come to center for a moment and feel, so the head, the heart, and the hips are the places that are touching. Head, heart, and hips, and then you have the curve of the cervical and the lumbar. Okay, now from the side ribs, we can then start to access the back ribs, even letting your chin release a bit towards your chest for just a moment, and then broaden that space in the center of the scapula, where the rhomboids are, wide and broad. And now open your front chest. Open the front chest, and then place your fingertips to the earth. Draw your elbows in, open your chest. So now the ribs, their job is to stay full, wide, all sides expanding. Think of like a hot air balloon energy. And then extend the arms towards sky. Lift the feet from the earth. So the feet, so before we even lift, actually, let's push the paw, the foot down. So push forward and down, and then drag back and up, and then you can lift. And push, so your feet are pushing like you were pushing into a wall, and then energetically dragging your heels down the wall, like you were dragging into a bar, resistance. And then extend your arms to the right and your knees to the left. Seeds right, knees left. And come back through center, and then knees right and seeds left. Knees push forward, hips slide back. So the knees pushing towards the front of the mat, the hips gliding back towards the earth, belly long and throat open. And then center, and then again we'll go arms to the right. Keep the hollows of the elbows and the hands, the underarms, and center, and then knees right and seeds left. And release to center. Lower your feet to the earth. Okay, we'll go side bow left. So scoot your hips to your right and roll to your left side. Right arm extends out, ear to bicep. Right hand touches down dome, hips behind the heart. Legs are in a 90 degree, and now notice again ribs. We want to see that this area is full, and also the front chest is also open and full. The waistline will begin to lift away from the mat, and now lift the right knee away from the left, and bring your right dome hand to your knee. Push the knee into the fingertips, slide the hips back, elongate, broaden and go wide, and then release. And now rolling onto your back, scoot yourself back onto your mat, and roll. So hips left, roll right for side bow. Touch down with the left dome. Right hand extends out, right ear to bicep. So again, we get really broad here, and the belly and the waist will lift away from the earth. Knees at 90, and then lift your left knee away from your right. Bring your left dome hand to touch the base of the thigh. The knees push forward, the hips glide back, open the belly and the throat. Broaden the left elbow to open the back ribs, and open front chest. and release, and come onto your belly. Use your forearms now to bring you onto the mat. Once you come onto the mat, extend the elbows forward, interlace your hands, bend your knees toward your base glutes. Okay, so now the places that touch are the knees, the top are the base of the thigh, the base of the rib, and the base of the arm. So we've got the mounds that touch the back heart full. And now move from side to side here. So we're working on the heart, but this is a nice little psoas release too, and this is a great pose for the health of the psoas, but it's important that you keep your groins hollow, meaning keeping the curves lifting away from the earth so you're not shoving the head of the femur forward, which ultimately contracts the psoas, instead of creating a healthier therapeutic alignment as we do when we maintain the head of the femur back and the groins in a nice hollow position. Come back center, place your hands wide so we come to a 90-degree, wrists under elbows, push down with your knees, squeeze your heels towards your base glutes, and then rise up on a diagonal. And place your hands now to neutral all fours, just slightly wider than shoulders. Hero the feet, tops of the feet to the earth, flexion of the ankle. Okay, so another way to consider the heart is that we don't want to melt it, and we don't want to collapse and get small. This is not a practice of getting small, it's a practice of getting full and big and bright from the inside out. Okay, so once we push out, we go wide and broad, the back ribs, the ribs rise, and then the front chest reaches forward, the hips glide back. And now take a couple little spring loads. So now you're working back and forward. And so the idea is that we're not going to C-curve, but you're keeping the mound of the glutes with the fullness of the ribs. Once you glide back, dome with your right hand and bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, and then dome to spring. And we just demonstrate doming, each knuckle slightly bent. Even the knuckles have hollows and mounds. And so we want to preserve the joints. That's why it's therapeutic and ergonomic, because we look at our day-to-day and how we're, holding alignment in our body. Do we tend to lock our knees, pop our groins, drop the head, and so forth. And then you just pulse and arc from side to side. And the ribs, they gotta stay buoyant and light as you do. Come back to center. Full ribs, full heart, long belly. Crouching cat, curl toes under, rise up. Okay, so we don't want to collapse here. Okay, it's a posture of readiness. The ribs reach forward, hips glide way back, way back. Ribs forward, bending the knees, bend and extend. Pulse. Okay, twisted cat right, left ear, left shoulder, initiates toes right, heels left. Okay, so we have to really keep ribs so buoyant here and not collapse into the left arm. So you have to hollow the left underarm to preserve the pose, the lightness. Bow and arc, pulse, root and rise. And then release back to center. Twisted to the left, right ear, right shoulder. Toes left, heels right. Bend and extend. Let the crown of the head release towards the earth, but keep the ribs so buoyant and light. Bow and arc. Pulse. And release. Lowering the knees to the earth. And so just to show from the back, so see, collapsing small hollow here, That's not an element of radiant heart that we're wishing to create. It's a fullness, a broadening of the back heart, the ribs wide, so full back, of course the sides, the back, and then also the front chest. Its job is to be widening and broadening and moving upward, skyward. So thank you for taking the time to check out this video. And so I'll follow up with the other subsystems in the practice. So with the wings of the arms and the shoulders, and then the roots and the feet, legs, and hips, and the spools of the belly and the neck. So also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in staying connected. And I've released a full Bowspring series on Vimeo. So if you want something more comprehensive and are looking to actually invest in the practice, maybe you don't have classes near where you live, which not everybody globally does, but this particular series has from beginner to advanced practices, full 30 to 45 minute flows, in fact. So thank you so much, and again, we're active on getting some things up on the channel, and have a beautiful day. Keep your hearts full.